Welcome to Too Many Audibles, where we discuss and debate the hottest topics around the sports world.
What a pass! Glove touchdown!
If you like our content, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Too Many Audibles.
Merry Christmas to all of our Too Many Audibles listeners. It's that time of the year. We're unwrapping presents in the form of Tom Brady versus Dak Prescott. We got the NFL kickoff. It's the best time of the year, boys. College is back and NFL is wrapping off, and I know I'm excited. How do y'all feel about it?
Man, I'm ready to dive into it. We got a great game kicking off week 1 for NFL tonight. Got the reigning Super Bowl champs taking on a healthy, hopefully, Prescott. Different team Cowboys are whenever he's playing, so should be a good game, man. I'm ready to kick it off and talk some prediction and really hop into this kind of week 1 swing of the NFL being back, man. Fantasy's about to start. I know we're going to be our screen time for ESPN is going to be up quite a bit over the next couple of months, so I'm ready to dive right into it with you.
Yeah, our weekends are full now, and it's making me happier than ever. So I'm excited to have NFL football back along with college. That means the TMA crew has a whole lot to talk about the next coming week, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, someone the other day was telling me, it's like, once you start playing fantasy, you never watch football the same again. Like, why would I spend 3 hours watching the Cowboys play? Oh, it's because I have Zeke on my team. I'm going to watch every single snap Zeke plays, and I'm going to micromanage and count each individual he already has, because that means an extra point for me. So football has totally changed for me, and even going beyond that, you know, I might watch a couple, like, dumpster fire games this year, like the Jaguars. You know, if they're playing my team, I'm going to be watching because that means I have a player, and I want to see what they do. You know, football has forever changed for me, and like Devin said, my screen time on fantasy, the ESPN Fantasy app, man, my phone's going to be fighting for his life on that battle. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Bryce, I know you're excited, but why don't you stop eating the mic?
My ears are fighting for their life with your dog, Joe Mike over there.
Hey, he's excited. I get it. He's ready to do
joke. How are you going to steal my joke and turn it around against me?
Hey, he's ready to take a bite out of that thing. I know you're excited, man, but we'll hop into it, I promise.
Hey, I know you're an FSU fan, and I know James W's all about eating them W's, but man, you don't got to eat this mic, okay? Look, it's a big day for TMA. It's a big W for us.
Y'all know that Drewski video where he's just like, "You got me." You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what. All right, I'll move back. I got y'all.
Hey, we good now. Listen, fellas. Week 1 kicking off. I know we are going to implement a new fun, weekly series, if you will, in these episodes where the TMA crew is going to be keeping a big board, a whiteboard of our weekly primetime games for the NFL, meaning Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football. And we'll keep a running tally throughout the season of who has the best record, and there might be a little prize in there as well. So you got to bring your A game. I got to get ready to make some tough picks.
I'm excited for it. I got tired of last season, Devin stealing all my money because he would make these picks and I'd beat him, and then he'd come back and like, "Oh, I never called that team," and he'd be lying. So I'm really glad we got this board to hold Devin accountable.
Right.
Also, it is a great way for anybody listening that wants to come on our Discord. We have a chat for the picks. You can enter your picks and follow along with us each week. And we haven't decided yet, but there will be some form of cash prize or greater, if we can think of something greater than cash, to give away to anyone that has a better record overall at the end of the year.
Y'all have me at whiteboard. I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, we have kickoff here shortly. Let's dive right into the Cowboys Bucks kicking off Thursday night football for week 1. Which way are y'all leaning in this game?
Give me the Buccaneers. It's been said time and time again. Things that you build, they last for a while, and the Buccaneers are returning all 22 starters from their Super Bowl team, and they've somehow added more to that. This, like I said, the saying goes, if you have something great, why change it? And that's what the Bucs are doing. The Bucs are going to come out, that defense, on on a team where Tom Brady is the GOAT of the NFL, and that's not even the most polarizing part of the team, that defense, well, I think the Cowboys are going to have their hands full. I mean, I know Dak's coming off of that kind of that shoulder issue, but he's got that new money though, and he's got CeeDee Lamb and all them going. We'll just have to see. I don't know. I like the Bucs in this one.
Yeah, I have to agree with Bryce. I got to go with the Bucks as well. I think the game's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be, but honestly, we don't know what Dak's going to look like. We haven't seen him since his huge injury. Like Bryce said, Buccaneers are returning everyone, offense and defense, so that chemistry is just picking right back up where they left off winning the Super Bowl. So it's just Tom Brady's been in this position before. He never disappoints. He has the weapons around him, and I mean, I just don't see the Cowboys beating them.
Yeah, Cam, what you think?
I'm going to pick the Buccaneers to win outright. I kind of thought since Bryce is silhouetted over there, he might pick the dark horse team since he's sitting in the dark. So I kind of thought that was good. I thought that was for show. I thought he was going somewhere with that. But I'm going to stick with the crew. Not too many audible on this one. I'm going to go with the returning champs. You know, they're bringing all the starters back. It's in front of Tampa. First time Brady's game in front of the Tampa home crowd. They're going to have those cannons firing off. I do expect Dallas to cover the spread, though. I think Tampa wins, but I think it'll be less than 9, which is what the spread's currently sitting at. So I think it's a one-score game.
You know, I kind of like where you left that off at. You know, I would love to take the Bucs and just kind of sweep it across the board, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go with the Cowboys. And here's why: may not make the most sense. I get it. Tom Brady, returning champs, returning starters. They got all the pieces that they need to absolutely win this game. Here's why I'm taking the Cowboys. Dak Prescott's hungry. He had an underwhelming season last year because of that injury. He's been rehabbing, been training hard, getting back in shape. And I think that Cowboys team is completely different with Dak Prescott versus the next guy. Ben DiNucci, Andy Dalton, it don't matter. The Cowboys are different. A different team, not even just on offense, but on defense as well. You feed into that energy, that momentum starts to swing your way. And I think the Cowboys are going to look really good tonight. Like I said, Dak's ready to get after it, man. He didn't get to play the whole season last year, so he's hungry. He's ready to get out there. Great offensive line. I think Zeke, I think he has a really good shot at a kind of a bounce back year. He didn't live up to quite the expectations last year. And then, of course, you got Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, and those are just those three guys. Zeke, Cooper, and Lamb are the only weapons Dak Prescott needs to be successful this year. So I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to call an audible, and I'm going to take the Cowboys tonight.
Here's why you're wrong, Devin. Here's why you're wrong. The Cowboys' secondary is terrible. Are you failing to recognize that, my friend? The Cowboys' secondary is terrible. That's not all right. When you have a team with Godwin, AB, Evans, Gronk is doing Gronk things, OJ Howard, and that run game with the GOAT.
Listen, they can score.
That's not a recipe for success.
They can score as much as they want. As long as the Cowboys can score more than them, it don't matter. It don't matter.
You think Dak Prescott and that team can score more than a Todd Bowles coached
Tom
Brady team?
I'm just saying, I'm calling an audible, okay? Y'all all three took the Bucs. I'm going to take the Cowboys. It's me versus the field. I think they're going to look great. I think Dak's going to play well, regardless of this or that. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys squeak out a win in week 1. I know the Bucs are probably kind of writing them off. They got the most momentum going into the season. They had the most success last year. I feel like that's kind of a sneaky trap game on a primetime Thursday night, week 1 for the Bucs.
I just want to go on record right now. Let every one of y'all know this. I will be surprised.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds.
Extremely.
The Cowboys are going to be a great 9-win team.
Hey, what's the fun in taking, all four of us taking the Bucs? Got to mix it up a little bit.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was trying to keep it spicy by saying it'll be close. I wavered on calling it a blowout, but no one gets blown out in the NFL. What I don't like is the fact that the Cowboys don't have Zach Martin on their line. And I know they got Lyle Collins and a couple other people on there, but they're getting older. And you got big old Vita Vea sitting right there in the middle of that defense. and you got Shaq Barrett coming off the end. You got Levante David. I mean, that defense is nasty. They were the number one rushing defense in the league at the end of the year. What I think might happen is a very similar trend to last year's game. The Cowboys get down early, abandon the run game, and then Dakota Rain Prescott throws for like 300-something yards to pull them within one score of losing. So it's a bunch of empty calories, but I just simply was going to say I don't think they cover the spread.
They're not expected to win. They probably shouldn't, but I'm going to take them to anyway. We'll see how it goes. We don't have too much longer for kickoff. Plus, if I'm right, then that's 3 losers. All of y'all are losers, and I'm the winner. So we'll just keep that in mind.
Ooh, stakes. The stakes are high.
Next up on that prime time list, we got Sunday night, which should honestly be a pretty good game of the Bears and the Rams. Could be, a couple different teams kind of going through some different phases, quarterbacks, just kind of changes throughout their program. So could very well be an interesting game. Where are y'all headed on that one?
Yeah, I got the Rams in that one. I said a couple episodes ago that I was most excited to see Matthew Stafford come out with that new team. I think he has a new excitement. I think there's just a new excitement with the franchise in general. Having the fans back, new stadium. I mean, they have that defense is going to stay nasty. Aaron Donald's going to stay nasty. The Bears, I mean, they're going to trot out. They're not starting Justin Fields, are they? No,
Andy Dalton.
So Andy Dalton's going to trot out there. I just don't see Andy Dalton slinging it in that atmosphere against that defense. So I think the Rams are going to win. Probably, I could see them winning by 2 scores, maybe. So
interesting. Well, Wade Phillips is no longer the defensive coordinator for the Rams, but hey, Jalen Ramsey's still there. The best defensive player in the league is still there currently. And so they are not going to throw Justin Fields to the Wolves in game 1. Like you said, they are starting Andy Dalton. All signs point to the Rams winning this game. And I like Stafford a lot. Even though we had a very, for the ones who know, we had a very skeptical trade today with Cooper Kupp involved and all that. But I still think the Rams get it done. The Bears are going to be all right. Justin Fields is in the best position to succeed, I think, but not week 1. You're not going to throw Justin Fields out against Aaron Donald and company week 1 and just watch everything burn to the ground. So that's why Andy Dalton's going to be pushed out there. The little ginger quarterback will do his thing. Shout out to Taylor,
Rocky, baby.
And Taylor looking a lot like Andy Dalton right now.
The Rams are going to win this game comfortably, my friends.
You know what? I know we're going to keep it all the same. We're singing y'all a little song. Y'all heard this? California knows how to party. And that's exactly what they'll be doing in Chicago's backfield all night long. When I look at that Rams defense, led by obviously none other than Aaron Donald, and you got Ashawn Robinson, Leonard Floyd, Georgia boy coming off the edge. That defensive line, I'm afraid, is going to pick apart that Bears offense, and it's ultimately going to be the difference. You got Stafford coming in with the Rams. He's a veteran QB. I expect that to be about as smooth a transition that a QB can have in the league, truthfully. And I don't agree with Matt Nagy's decision to start Andy Dalton over Justin Fields. Clearly what we've seen in the preseason is Justin Fields is ready to start. He is more dynamic. He can create plays better than Andy Dalton does. And I really don't like this narrative being pushed that, Andy Dalton's being thrown to the wolves because you want to spare Justin Fields from Aaron Donald. I got newsflash for him. I got newsflash for Justin Fields, buddy. Every single defensive line you play in the NFL is going to be better than every single defensive line you played against at Ohio State. So you might as well just go ahead and get used to it. And that's not Fields' fault. That's Matt Nagy's fault. But either way, I'd pick the Rams to win this game. But I'm definitely picking them to win if the Red Rocket is behind center for the Bears.
Yeah, and I kind of have to – I'm not going to pull any audibles on this one. The Rams just overpower them in just about every single aspect of this game. One, most notably, quarterback. Andy Dalton's a veteran, too. He had some success with Cincinnati, kind of hop ship from Dallas, had a little stint with the Cowboys. But like you said, Cam, and y'all all made great points. The defense for the Rams is too solidified and too strong and too consistent for a new quarterback in the system for Andy Dalton. The Bears have pretty good weapons. I mean, you got Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, David Montgomery, but none of that matters if you don't have time to throw the ball. Aaron Donald's going to wreak havoc, even though he's going to be double teamed. Like you said, I honestly believe Leonard Floyd could quietly have one of the best seasons as a lineman this year. I know he gets overshadowed by Aaron Donald, a lot, as he should, to be honest, but they're just too strong. Like you said, Matt Stafford stepping into this position with already a better offensive line, a better weapon, a better coach, a better defense than he had in Detroit. This is a prime time situation for him, kind of go ahead and start off on the right foot, get that offense flowing, build that chemistry with those guys, and having sure receivers like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp never hurts at all either. So like them in every facet of the game, and I think the Rams win comfortably. I think the Bears are going to look confused, kind of in shock, and I believe they're better off starting Justin Fields sooner.
100% agree. And to your point about the Bears' weapons, the Bears really don't have a great offense. Let's be real. They're not deep with weapons. Allen Robinson's their best playmaker, and for this game, he's going to be blanketed by the best cover corner in the NFL. So just to make your life even harder, he's going to be blanketed by that. The one thing before you get high, though, Bryce, before we move on, I got to call you out on one thing you said. You said the best defensive player in the league. I'm sorry. Is Aaron Donald the highest paid defensive player in the league? Did he lead the league the past 2 years in sacks and tackles for a loss? If the answer is no,
player of the year, though,
just stay in the dark.
Well, I think it's kind of hard to get sacks when you're triple teamed every single game, but he still finds a way to do it. TJ Watt, 1A, 1B, my friend. TJ Watt. What are you gonna say?
Nothing. Clearly, you just showed me that clearly your knowledge of TJ Watt is just like your camera right now, in the dark. You lost and you clueless, son.
The only thing I'm working with, Cameron, is the Bengals and Steelers game we saw in person last year, where TJ Watt, what did he do? Nothing. That's the only game I'm working with, Cameron.
He led the league in sacks last year and led the league in tackles for a loss.
Should I start watching more Steelers games? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you actually quit wasting your time watching Panthers games because they suck. Watch some real football.
Let's speaking of real football, how do y'all think the Ravens are going to look this year after losing their 3 running backs on the depth chart, and 2 of them, in back-to-back weeks, lost their best corner and Marcus Peters. How do y'all think they're going to look against the Raiders on Monday Night Football this week?
I'm losing all hope for the Ravens this year. They had the worst pass yards per game last season, and Lamar Jackson's NFL history. They are not looking good, and that certainly does not help. They added some talent in the draft this season, but just losing guy after guy after guy, that just does not bode well. Greg Roman's a great coach, and he'll do the best he can. Lamar Jackson, I think what we're going to see, Devin, is we're going to see a situation like we did last year with Seattle, where they let Russ cook, and Russ cooked way too much, and the stove burnt. I think they're going to let Lamar cook. They're going to say, all right, dude, just do the best you can. I mean, they still have some great pieces, don't get me wrong, but that's just a hard, blow to deal with, dude. I don't know, man. I don't want to pick the Raiders. I really don't, but I think the Raiders somehow find a way to squeak out this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, as a matter of fact. Since we're talking about an AFC North divisional rival, one that's gone head-to-head with the Steelers for the past 2 decades, I'm going to take the Raiders in this. I mean, you look at, like you said, they lost Peters today to an ACL. They lost Dobbins, they lost Gus Edwards, and they've lost Hill. Think of it. Justice Hill. I mean, I never want players to get hurt, obviously, but I mean, from a rival standpoint, for just the success that this means for the Ravens, sure, I'm glad that they're probably not going to do as well, but I hate for any player's safety to take a hit like this, but there's just no denying the fact when you lose this much depth at a very important position, especially the Ravens offense that's centered around the triple option, and they run 65% of the time, this is a huge blow to the Ravens, more so than it would be for the Chiefs. So, yeah, I do believe that. I think there's a real chance the Raiders come in with Darren Waller, and I think that offense gets it done. I believe in the Raiders in this game.
Yeah, real quick before I get one of them to say something, like I was saying, the Ravens last year, they were the worst in the NFL in total pass yards. They were, I think, ranked 30th in the NFL in pass yards per game. They averaged 170 yards passing per game. And when you lose your running backs that they really had to rely on last year, that does not bode well. You know, if you're going to be dead last in the league in passing last year, you got to have a run game this year. And I don't know if Le'Veon Bell can't succeed in the Chiefs offense, I don't know if he'll succeed in the Ravens offense. And that's just, I don't know, it just doesn't look good.
Don't have high hopes for Le'Veon Bell. But I will say, and one thing for the Ravens' credit, the reason they were a big reason they were the worst in the league in passing is because they were by far, they led the league in rushing attempts and rushing yards. So, I mean, in that, when you have that much success on one side of the ball, obviously you're not going to be the best passing either. But nonetheless, when you run that heavy and then your rushing attack is gutted right before week one,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
I don't really like their chances. It's going to be a tough one, I do feel.
Yeah, I was also on the same page with Cameron and Bryce on picking the Raiders. But I think at the last second, I'm going to switch it and go with the Ravens. John Harbaugh, he's experienced. He's a veteran head coach. He's been in situations where players got hurt and he has to plug and play and do the thing, and he's won those games before. Bryce, like you said, you picture them doing what they did with the Seahawks and just letting Lamar Jackson cook. Well, you don't say that to a quarterback unless he can cook, and he's a former league MVP. If he has to put the game on his back and win this, I think he can, especially at being against the Raiders, who aren't the greatest team in the league. I could see him winning a close game. I mean, it being in Las Vegas is pretty detrimental. That's not going to go in his favor at all, but I would be surprised to see them winning a close game.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with
honestly, Taylor, I'm kind of right there with you. I think even in spite of the injuries that they've had hit in the last 2 weeks leading up to this week 1 kickoff, I think they're still a better team all around than the Raiders are. I think the Raiders are still figuring some things out. They don't have a great offense. Derek Carr's kind of one surefire weapon is Darren Waller. You could even throw Henry Ruggs. I've heard a lot about Brian Edwards in camp this fall. So I think on paper, from top to bottom, Ravens are still a better team. They have more experience. They have more chemistry. They have a coach that's been in those positions, like you said, Taylor. And honestly, it does suck to take a huge blow like that, especially in consecutive weeks, practices, same practice. I still think the Ravens are able to get it done. And I think we see even more so. Lamar Jackson is fully capable of accounting for 85% of that team's total points and yards. I think he really is. I think we're going to see more glimpses of what he did in Louisville, where he was that dynamic playmaker, the human, like, freaking controller, it feels like, on an NCAA game. He's young. He hasn't had any serious injury. He still has playmakers who can push the ball down the field, have tons of speed. I like the Ravens to take this game on the road. I really do. I think they're going to get the job done, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tyson Williams kind of snuck in there, kind of a James Robinson slash for the Jaguars. He could very well be a great plug and play guy for this offense and could quietly produce pretty good numbers for them. So I feel like it's kind of the way Gus Edwards, came about. He filled in. A guy was hurt, filled in, did very well. And then after J.K. Dobbs, he was going to be the lead back going into this week until he got hurt. So I still like the Ravens. I think they're going to get the job done against the Raiders on Monday Night Football this week.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
We'll see how it goes. I'll definitely be rooting for the Raiders because hate the Ravens. But while we're talking about a couple former MVPs and Russ and Lamar, let's hit a little lightning round. Here are too many audibles, roundtable picks, major awards. So we're going to go around. I want everyone's MVP, defensive player, and offensive player of the year. Let's hit it.
We'll give a little side note about it. This will be more of kind of like a this is my guy and here's a little bit why. I know we'll dive into it really as the season progresses and kind of the race get a little bit tighter. Trying to get this a nice short sweet episode for all of you. So yeah, let's hop into it. What we think?
I'll kick it off. So I'm going to start off with my MVP, my most valuable player this year. He's taking the field tonight. Going for ring number 8, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady is going to get his second MVP.
That's like the
season.
Top 4 most common white dude names in 1968.
And he's combined them. He's just got them combined. He's got all of them. So yes. So that's my MVP pick. Give me Fred Warner for Defensive Player of the Year. Outside linebacker for the 49ers. Just got a big contract. I think he, along with all the 49ers defense, is going to have a great bounce back year. And 3 for my Offensive Player of the Year. Bryce, you're going to love it. Give me Christian McCaffrey. Not only do I think he's the comeback player of the year, but I think he returns to CMC form that we saw 2 years ago. I expect 1,000 yards rushing and passing, receiving. So, yeah, give me CMC for Offensive Player of the Year. And also still predict the Panthers to not make the playoffs. Let that be said.
They probably won't, Cameron. And it's funny you say that because a team that will make the playoffs and probably make a very deep push also has my MVP pick on their team as their quarterback. A guy who posted a Last Dance graphic on Instagram. You cannot take that lightly. Aaron Rodgers is my MVP pick. I think him and Adams, I don't know. Say what you want. I don't even know if I can put into words. I think they're going to put the league
back to back,
like Drake said in that one song. I can't think of it at the moment.
97?
Exactly. I think Rodgers is going to have a great season, and yeah, on a serious note, I think he really is going to have a great season. I think even though LaFleur has been kind of under fire for the way he's been handling the team and everything, I still think Rodgers, he doesn't need much. He just needs Devontae Adams. He needs Aaron Jones, and that's all he needs. And I think he's going to be very successful. And for my Defensive Player of the Year, even though Cameron, I say Aaron Donald is better because he is at the moment, I still think TJ Watt has a more productive season. And I think that money is not going to go to his head. And I think TJ Watt is going to have a great season. I think he wins Defensive Player of the Year this year. I gotta throw you a bone. For every 5 insults I give you, Cameron, I gotta give you a compliment. And TJ Watt, who's better? TJ Watt, he's gonna get it done. And I don't remember what I said, but I think I projected him. How many sacks did he have last season again?
15.
15? I think he goes over that. I think he gets 17 this season. With the extra game we're working with this year with 17, I think he gets it done.
Right. Well, the problem is, though, he may not have a chance to play in that 17th game because the Steelers are probably going to have the 1 seed and the bye locked up. But,
they're close, though. They're going to throw him in and they're going to let him get a sack.
This man got some symptoms.
Bryce just trying to butter me up because I picked Christian McCaffrey. He just trying to butter me.
He returned a favor.
Taylor,
Taylor, what's your picks for awards? What we got?
So MVP, I want to go with Josh Allen. Kind of going for his first MVP. Let him go 12-4, make it to an AFC Championship, play well in it.
10 games, buddy.
He's just a dynamic player with his leg, with his arm. He can just kind of do what he needs to, and he scores a lot of touchdowns, which helps a lot.
Yeah,
on his legs, he does.
Thanks. Offensive player, I think I got to go Derrick Henry again. I don't see him going 2,000 yards, but another 1,800, 1,750 would not be surprising.
Even with Julio now, you think?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I got to agree with Bryce on the whole defensive player. I was going to go with TJ Watt as well. I think I was in agreement with everyone that he was snubbed last season. I mean, and I just, with him getting paid, I just don't see him down, like depleting in efficiency at all.
Here we go.
I have to agree with Bryce with TJ.
Yeah.
I love to hear it, boys.
Yeah. So I couple different ways I kind of approach this. MVP. As much as it pains me to say, I'm going to go with Matt Stafford. I know he's a Georgia boy, but listen
love
to
to
me.
see it.
I think,
Love that.
like I mentioned earlier, I really do think that he's stepping into the best position he's been in and all around in his career in the NFL, regardless of having Megatron. I really do think that he is going to light it up. It is a very friendly quarterback ran offense, that they run with Sean McVay. I think he's going to do great. I think they had success with Jared Goff as a quarterback, and I think you take a more experienced veteran player and put him in that same system. It's just a recipe for good things to happen. So I'm going to go Matt Stafford MVP in his first year with the Rams.
Okay.
My offensive player of the year and the reason why I didn't choose this player to be my MVP, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert as my offensive player of the year. I didn't choose him as my MVP because we know that team success plays a huge factor into that MVP, that most valuable player award. I do think the Rams have a better year than the Chargers do. I think Justin Herbert is going to be the dude in Los Angeles and until he can't play anymore. He was phenomenal last year. Didn't even know the guy was going to start, and then Tyrod Taylor had a weird thing happen. He stepped right in there, and despite their record last year, he played very well. Let's not forget he took the Chargers into overtime with the Chiefs. Played very well against veteran quarterbacks he was up against, and I believe they lost at least 5 or 6 games. On average, less than one score difference. So they were right there in a lot of those games. I think he's going to have a great year. Defensive player of the year, I'm going to take Chase Young for the Washington football team.
Ooh, I like that pick.
I think he could be a dark horse. Obviously, he's not a front runner when you have guys like TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, that type of thing. I think he could quietly have a really, really good, stellar year and prove he's young. He's got all the physical intangibles that he needs. He's just got to put them all together. And I think once he does that, I think he'll have a great year and win Defensive Player of the Year. So a little bit different than where you guys kind of went. So I'm kind of interested to see how those races start to shape up. I think we get a pretty good feel around that, halfway point of where they're on pace for. So it'll be interesting to kind of see where all that ends up.
Yeah.
The NFL season.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Another season ahead. We're going to have new storylines, breakout players. There's going to be disappointments, things we're going to be scratching our head about, like, that was such a lock. But, hey, I can't wait. It's all kicking off here soon. As a matter of fact, we just got just a mere minutes before the reigning Super Bowl champs get their season underway. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait. I know we're going to be back next week. We're going to be talking about all the week 1 action. Can't wait to be talking about week 2 of college football coming up. That's finally back. I mean, I don't know. We're just...
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to cover, man. It's like you said, it's Christmas time. It feels like most exciting time of the year. We're giving out presents. We're gifting the presence of us for the podcast for you to listen and to view and to just tune in each week. We'll keep rocking with y'all if y'all keep rocking with us. Join the Discord. I know we harp on that. It's the best place to stay in the loop of what we got going on and coming up. So check that out. Follow us on social media. And as always, we appreciate it. Matt, thank you again for all you do. Other than that, boys, let's kick off this NFL season in the right way. And I hope all of y'all get dubs in fantasy football week 1 as well. So we'll catch you next time.
Hey, me and Taylor play each other, so one of us ain't getting a dub.
You're looking out.
I'm not looking out for nothing, my friend. I'm looking out for a W on my record.
Hey, Jameis Winston going to be eating a W when he throwing passing touchdown to Marquez Callaway all year. That's all I'm going to say. Go Vols.
And he's going to sit on my bench, and it's going to drive you all crazy.
NFL Week 1 kicking off, baby. Catch us next week. We'll dive into it some more. We appreciate you all.
Peace. Go Noles.
Touchdown.
If you like our content, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Too Many Audibles.